I just filmed a whole video and it turned out terrible, y'all. I can't even put it up on the, I just can't. I just can't. Excuse me. Yeah, so we're gonna try this again. And I showed you my baby album. I told y'all I needed to work on a baby album, and I am working on a baby album. And hopefully it's gonna turn out cute as a button. The baby and the album. Okay, so here are my covers that I made the other day, and I did do that, didn't I? This one's front. Y'all just have to excuse me. I'm crazy as a loon. Okay. Got that little correction made. Glad I wanted to show y'all the covers. Okay. This one is the front because it has the little elephant in the middle on the front. And I'm going to put lace around here. So I have to sew. Right now all I've done is taken a piece of cardstock and I glued my fabric to my cardstock. So I will put my lace on and then I'll sew around. Then we'll decide what to do with this. We know there's going to be a corner or something here because we don't want that elephant upside down right there. And there's going to be something along this side, probably some pretty lace or something along that side. And then we'll have to do something up there too. So yeah, we might have corners on there. Okay, and then here's the back. And for the back, I think we're going to want, no, for the back, I don't know what we're going to do. Yeah, I do. We're going to leave this elephant. Nope, we're going to leave this elephant, and we're going to have a pocket, a tuck on this side, and then maybe a corner up here. So, yeah, we'll figure all that out much later. I usually do my covers last. I don't know why. It just works out easier for me. And then I put, this one has a 4-inch spine. And I did my spine insert with 4 fins. So, here, there's approximately a 1/2 inch, close to an inch. A 1/2 inch on here, and an inch and an inch and an inch and a 1/2 inch. Now for the spines, it's been a while since I've made an album, so I did not tape that. I did not video that because it would have just made me crazy trying to get it perfect and everything. As it was, I worked slow. Took my time. I'll tell you who makes these kind of spines a lot. That's Jennifer over at Genevieve Designs, and I will put a link to her videos down below. But she does a great job, and she's got templates. You could make the whole album out of one of her templates. I'm not exactly using her template, but you can see how you can modify her templates, and they're just wonderful. I am going to use a good bit of her Basically Amazing templates. They have, and she's got 2 add-ons that go with them, and I'm not sure which one I'm going to use yet. It may be the Graceful, because it goes with the lines of the elephants and things, the roundness of the lines. But then she's also got another one, which is, I believe, Enchanted, and it's beautiful too. And the lines are just, she's just done a really good job with that set. So I may use both of them. Who knows? But go check her out, because she is really good, and she teaches. She's been doing her YouTube videos for years and years and years, and she's got a whole bunch of template sets out there. And I think I have all but the last one. And she designs papers, and she does, it's just, you just got to go check her out. But anyway, we are going to work on this album today, this baby album, because y'all know how much I love doing baby albums. Not, but it's a special thing. So I am going to do the baby album. I think I told you before, I think I don't like doing baby albums because it's not that I don't like them. It's that I make myself so ingrained in trying to get it perfect that I put too much pressure on myself doing them. And that's on me. That's all me. Okay, this has to be 9.5. I got to get my bigger cutter's going to need to be out for this project. But yeah, all that's on me. Baby albums are good things. Okay, so I made one of these. I'm making a waterfall, and it's going to have, I didn't show y'all how didn't even show you how the pages go together. Okay, let me show you this real quick. I hope that doesn't crash down. Okay, I cut 2 pages. These are just 8.5 by 11. And this is one of the reasons that I'm doing because I want my pages to be just as big as they possibly can. Sorry, y'all. I'm flipping and flopping pages. But yeah, your pages glue to the fins of your album. And then it makes a beautiful place to put a spread. And you can put more than one. You could have another page in here. And then you have 2 pages that just flip on over. You can put another page on here, which would be the same difference. So yeah, that's what we're working on today. And what I want to do on these pages, they're gonna open like this and be my spread. And what I want to do is make waterfalls. And I want them to be, y'all, the dog hair. Okay, I want my waterfalls to go like this, and then they'll open up, and I want to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 for the baby's first year, so that they can have a picture of each month's progress and the height and the place to put the height and the weight, and then they can put other things like maybe from the first doctor's visit, a little photo or something, you know, just a place in the pocket for little keepsakes. A cute picture on the front. Mom can journal on the back or put another picture on the back. And I know that I could do this all on one page and just do 6 across and 6 across, but I don't want it to be that crowded. And I want it to I want there to be plenty of room for more pictures and things like that if they want to keep them. So that's what I'm thinking on that. Now, I started doing them 2 different ways, and I've already lost my instructions. What did I do? Oh, there they are down there. On the paper cutter, where they should be. Y'all, I am not with it today. Y'all, please just forgive me. I've been struggling with a migraine for days, and yeah. Anybody that has migraines understands, I'm sure. So the rest of you'll just have to float along with me. Okay, so the first way I could do this is the way that this one is done. And it's 4.5 by 6.5. And it's got a fin or a hinge to attach to the page. And inside, it's got this nice 4.5 by 6.5 pocket. so more photos could fit in there, notes. You could even put a whole piece of paper in there. They're just going to be real useful. Okay, so the way I did this one was I cut 2 pieces at 5 by 7, and I scored at the bottom and on one side. So then I had 2 pieces that looked like that. So for one of the hinges, I left the hinge out on the short side. The other one I folded in to make the bottom of the pocket. And I folded one hinge in on the top and one hinge in on the bottom to make my pocket. So that was relatively simple. But it also is a little bit harder because you have to really glue these 2 down at the same time and get them straight. And yeah, I think it'll be easier. I'm going to try it with the folded over top. Okay, so what I need is a 7 by 9.5, and we've already cut this 7. Right, that one's cut at 7. A little crooked, I would say. So let's get it straightened up. There we go. And then we need this side to be 9.5. And the reason, I'll show you as soon as I get it cut, I'll show you the reason 9.5. Okay. The reason I did it 9.5 is because instead of having this hinge up here, we're going to have just one hinge on the bottom, and we're going to fold it so that it'll be 4.5. So 2 times 4.5 is 9, and add a half for the one hinge. So let's give it a try. Okay. So now, this is the long way of our pocket. This is the top, this is the left, and this is the right. So we need to score the top or the bottom. Depends on how you decide to fold it. At 1/2. That's going to be our hinge that holds our pocket together. Then we need to score it at, so that the side here, so this part from our score to our edge will be 4.5. So in order to do that, we add our 1/2 to our 4.5, so we get 5. So hopefully we're good. Now, it depends on which way you want to turn your paper. This depends. If you want your fold at the top, turn your paper so that your hinges are going to be on the left side. If you want your waterfall to go from the left side, do it the opposite if you want your waterfall on the right. So I'm going to do my waterfall on the left on these pages, on these pockets. So I'm going to score it 1/2. Okay, now, so there, you do have to think about it a little bit more with this way, but hopefully it'll turn out as nice as the other one did. Okay, so what we're going to do now is fold our creases and really get them folded. I'm sorry I've gone silent on y'all. I'm just paying attention to what I'm doing. Okay, now we're going to make some cuts. We're going to cut the bulk out of this corner, and we're going to cut this to make this two hinges. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut, if I can hold my scissors still, we're going to cut right to that, where that seam, the two seams meet. And I'm just cutting out a little V in it. Then on this side, I'm going to cut the bulk out, because that's going to make the corner of our pocket. Okay, so one of these hinges is going to fold in to create the bottom of the pocket. The other hinge is going to fold out, and it's going to be outward to create the hinge that gets attached to the page. So now we're going to train this hem, or this fold, and we're going to hope all is well. We want this fold to come right to that crease without going over. So what I'm going to do is hold that up there, because I do have a little poof in it. I'm going to get the top all lined up, and then I'm going to crease. And the reason this gets this little bit of poof is because that indentation that you make on the scoring board, the score that you make, has some width to it itself, and it wants to tell you where it wants to fold, but you have to tell it where it's gonna fold. Okay, so now we're gonna do, and actually we could do either one of these, so I think we'll just do this one and this one. And you can do this part with glue or with tape, or your favorite, just your favorite glue. I'm using art glitter glue. It gives us a fine line of glue, and obviously y'all can see how much I'm shaking. I am just shaky today, but that's okay too. Now, keeping this flap out, we're going to fold this together, make sure it remains lined up, and get that glue pressed in. Now, press it down some more, make sure that glue comes all the way out to the edges. And this is important because you do have now an edge down here. So now we need to make sure we didn't glue the inside together. Looks like we did okay. Okay, so now we have our envelope complete with closed edges, and we have this hinge that's going to attach to the page. So, and now we can mat it with whatever we want to mat it with. I'm sorry, I'm moving my paper trimmer around down here so I can get to my garbage can. Okay. And I did make a mess here, so it's from leftover pencil marks, I'm sure. But it'll be okay because all that's going to be matted. Okay, so now we're ready to make another one. So the difference between these two, from this part, you can't even tell a difference. From this side, you can't tell a difference. So either method is okay. It's all about how you want to measure it. And, excuse me, it's all about how you want to measure it and fold it. Okay, so let's try another one. If I can get my paper. Wow. Okay. Okie doke. So here we go again. We want to, I think that second one was a little bit easier, so I'm going to cut them 7 by 9.5. One thing you want to be careful to do when you're cutting paper on a guillotine trimmer is you want to make sure your blade is all the way up and it's not impeding the paper when you go to put it in, because you want your edge at the top to be straight so that your line will be straight down the side. And we can go ahead and cut another one here. And the reason that I didn't put that in and cut the 9.5 first is because I'm using 11 by 17 paper, and the only reason I'm using the 11 by 17 paper is because that's what I had out to cover my covers with, and it is a very nice strong paper cardstock. So I want to use a strong cardstock in building the base of my album, and this is the best that I have. So my other cardstock is not quite this quality, so I wanted to just continue on the base of making the base of the album with this nice cardstock, and it happens to be 11 by 17. Okay, so now we want the other side of the piece to be 9.5, 7 by 9.5. And we'll just go ahead and make 2 of them while we're making. There we go. And we're making a lot of scraps. Okay. Wondered where that went. That was part of my divot from that other pocket, from my thumbhole divot. Okay, so we know that this is going to fold over. Am I doing it right? I want to make sure I'm doing it right. Yes, we're going to, and that is not even what I wanted. I want this one. Oops, 5. And at 1/2. And I want my hinges on the left, so I'm going to turn it to the left. And my hinges are at 1/2. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and, might as well go ahead and score this one out while I have it. So we're going at 1/2. And then we're going 4.5 inches, because we want it to be 4.5. We're going 4.5 inches from 1/2, which is 5. So we're going from this point to this point is 4.5 inches. And it's wanting to be difficult for me. I wonder if I have glue or something in there. I don't see anything. Okay. And then I want my hinges on the left, so I'm going to turn it to the left. Wow. Okay. So now we're going to start cutting. I'm going to cut the bulk out of this corner. Go ahead and cut these edges for good measure. Not that one. And I'm just cutting to where that comes together right there. Okay. And the reason I didn't cut this one is because it's going to be the one that folds over and makes this top corner of the pocket, and our pocket is rectangular. So, I'll show you what I mean. See, that pocket's going to meet up corner to corner right there. And this is the one that we want to make absolutely certain is where it needs to be. We want it to be very much lined up. And then we're going to crease. Okay, so that one's going to fold in. And that's going to create the side closure part of the pocket. This one is going to create the bottom closure part of the pocket. This one is going to create the hinge that the pocket attaches to the album with. Okay, so now we're going to glue here and here and close our pocket. Let that corner get glued well. And get this pocket folded over. That corner lines up very nicely. I don't know if you can see. All right, and that looks like a video. So I hope y'all are finding a little bit of value in this video. If you would, please give me a like. And if you want to subscribe, I'd love for you to subscribe. And if you'd like to share, I'd love for you to share this video.